Time for another installment in the AirBrush noob. I have no idea what I'm going to call this one as I'm making this, so I don't know. But anyway, as we last left off, I was still messing about with my canopy for my Lynx. And so as you can see, I've got the canopy attached. It's not glued in or anything like that. It's just sitting there for now because I can take it off. But I think it's time to, work on the gun? I think, right? I don't know. He's looking pretty decent. Now I know, I think it's Mad Cow Crazy. I think it's Mad Cow Crazy who mentioned painting it metallic and, you know, doing something like that. Now, I think if I remember the comment, it's been a while since I read the comment, but the comment being, make the gun metallic with like the heat treatment, like I guess, but it doesn't really fit too well with my overall kind of color scheme. I prefer the matte. I don't know, maybe just the end. You know, we just up the barrel, kind of get a transition going with metallics. I don't know. Kind of hard pressed to figure out what I want to do. I still got to take care of those intakes. I still got to reestablish the black on the nozzles. Still quite a bit of work to be done on this guy, really. You can see some black overspray here. Oops. It's okay, I'll probably end up painting that as a big gemstone. I don't know, I'm not ready to tackle the intakes yet, but I'm thinking, should I just do it by hand? I'm thinking it's probably easiest, right? It's probably easiest to just tackle that by hand. And I was kind of surprised because I was playing around at one point and I started airbrushing black onto the nozzles, just seeing what kind of control I could get as far as, you know, coming back in and re-establishing that black. Probably not going to treat the underside any. I mean, you know, colors are separating and, you know, whatever, but it's really all about the surface detail, right? Still I'm not entirely 100% behind the canopy, but you kind of figure you got to just, you know, do it and move on. Oh, the other thing is the driver. There's a little driver dude. And I'll probably have to fix him to, I don't know, either I'll pin him or I'll fix him to just some blue tack or something and just something to handle him with. But that's the little fella. Little driver. He's left unattached. Maybe I'll just spray the inside, because normally whatever I do with my grav tanks when I have this clear canopy is I like to have like the indication of like some OSL inside, like this screen is, you know, illuminating them that way. And I usually leave it like gray, because through the canopy, you know, it just looks green, right? And if I went in any kind of colors, it's not really going to show through because there's so much green it's got to, it's got to travel through. And yeah, I don't know. I'm mostly happy with how he's going. I might attempt to reestablish the black with brush. Maybe we'll do the gun barrel in metallics. Maybe like, you know, it's heat. You know, what the heck is that called now? I'm drawing a blank on what that's called. When the metal, like the metal is heat stressed. Drawing a blank. But yeah, I mean, like really, it's a lot of the big work has already been done, right? It's just left the gun. I would prefer to leave it a little bit black, but maybe we'll try it with some little effect. You know, maybe because it's a pulsar, right? And this is a destroyer weapon. And so he's going pew, 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 pew. And yeah, I do make the sounds when I play with my vehicles. But I suppose we should just get right into it, right? Heat treat it. Thing is because I didn't really want to shoot it with metallics, because the metallics, the silver doesn't really flow all that well. I'm not very fond of how silver flows. because I've been using the Minotaur silver, and I haven't gotten around to picking up any of the other silvers to try out, like AirBrush silvers. And I hear a lot of good things about like Vallejo silver. I have yet to try it, so I can't really voice an opinion on it at this time. But there's quite a bit of dust in there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's quite a bit of dust from that iridescent medium. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. Let's just do this gun. Let's get this gun done. And we'll do something. Get something done. Let's get to work. Alright, so really quickly here, I just masked off the cannon. I'm not planning on going very far, so I shouldn't end up with any overspray over here. If I do, well then, y'all get to say I told you so, but... And so really quickly here, I'm just using gun alloy from Minotaur. Now, with this paint, it often will not flow out as nicely as you'd like it to. I've had it run a few times on me where it just kind of like shot out all at once, and it's just such a pain. Just quickly running some water through. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. We're gonna lay some silver down first. Probably don't need that much, but just a little bit in there. And let's come at it from a few angles here. Now see, like right now, it seems to flow out alright. Yeah, you see how it's coming out kind of in spurts. It's kind of a pain in that regard. Go a little further up here. The other hard part is you can't quite tell if it's coming out all out properly. And I'm afraid to ease too much off of the trigger, so I just don't want this coming out too hard, right? So, but like once it's on, it looks good. That's the thing, like, you know, it's such a shame that I'm so gun shy to use this, that, you know, and it looks good when it comes out and when it's flowing well, but for whatever reason it just doesn't want to agree with me sometimes. And I know I'm not the only guy that, oh Fritz, there we go. I know I'm not the only guy that this does that to. But what are you gonna do? But it's such a nice color, and like it looks good once it's on the model. I mean, it looks really good, right? It looks like metal, but you gotta get it there, and sometimes it feels like you gotta wrestle with it. Ugh. See, if we listen really carefully, you can hear it go pss, 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 and it just kind of, like I'm pulling about a third of the way and it's barely coming out. Oh, there we go, crap. See, I'm laying a little too much down on the tip there. Let's pick this up on its side, try and get some of this underside here. You think possibly it's a PSI thing? I think maybe I'm running too high, a PSI? Any of you guys out there who are watching who are, you know, a little bit more familiar than myself with this airbrushing process, feel free to let me know. Because otherwise, I'm going to keep going at the rate I am. Yeah, see, I start getting up here. Ah, Fritz. And it's kind of hard to see. Let's try and get this right in here. Come on. Come on. Come on. So you can hear it spurting out all at like once kind of thing. It's not what you want. You want it to come out. You want to be, it's too much again. Crap. Oh well. I think I'm just about done screwing out with this color anyway. But there we are. Got some silver. And I'm just going to let the camera run while I run my cleanup process here. Because, you know, I don't know. Some of you find it interesting. Some of you may not. Some of you will be going, Chris, you're doing it all wrong. You should be going like this. Feel free to say that as well. I mean, you know, if my cleanup process seems a little inefficient or, you know, not thorough enough, let me know. Because, you know, I'm always open to learning. I mean, I don't have this whole process down. All I basically know is, you know, to keep this, keep the brush clean, right? If you want it to work right, you got to keep it clean. You got to take care of your brush. And it'll take care of you. Gee, I've heard that somewhere. I don't know where though. But anyway. Let's shoot a little bit of Windex through it. Just 2 little squirts. Ease the hammer back. Actually, the hammer, like it's a gun. Let's get some more. There we go. Give another quick little wipe down. Sitting in the bottom. It's pretty much clean. It's just getting that rest of that Windex out. Alrighty. So we are mostly happy with the metal. Now I am not going to overdo the crap. What is that called again? I'm gonna have to stop the camera and look that up. What that term's called when the metal changes color. Let's go with some Minotaur colors. Let's go with, do I have blue handy? What is this one? This is Ghost Tint Blue. Give it a good shake. Well, typically, what is it? It goes, does it go magentas? Geez, I can't remember which way the colors usually go. I'm drawing a blank here. Oh well, we can always come back in with some magenta, if need be. And yeah, let's go with some Ghost Tint Blue. Slap a little bit in here. We shouldn't need too much. The other thing with these ghost tints, with these little dropper style bottles, you'll sometimes see how it's leaking down the cap like that. Especially if the paint is building up as, well, I'm not going to show you now, but the paint sometimes builds up at the cap and the lip and it becomes kind of a pain. Okay. So let's start over here. You know what, let's zoom in just a bit here. Zoom in. And let's pull this down a little bit, just so you guys can see just kind of what I'm up to here. Give you guys a better indication. But you can see how nice the silver looks, right? Like it looks like metal. You know, we've got a little bit of a fade going on there. You know, it looks all right, right? Okay. So we're going to start laying in some blue. I don't want to take it too far because I don't want the whole barrel. You can already hear the tip drying out. And let's get a little bit under here. Man, I can't remember which way this is. Which way these barrels are supposed to oxidize. Man, I poured too much in here. But now that's blue on there. Let's get rid of the paint. Oop, wrong way. Back that up a bit again. More water in there. So all I do is just quickly put some water in, pour it into the thing, empty it out. Instead of just shooting it all the way through and taking that amount of time, just a couple quick rinses of water. See if you can see the bottom now. Just get a quick shot like that. Another quick little blast of some water in there. You can see now it's pretty flush, right? So now I'll run it through the brush. Try and get some out of there. And let me just wipe the excess out. Not looking too bad now. Give it a little shot of some Windex. Use the hammer back. Oop, I'm shooting it everywhere. There we go. There we go. Give them a quick little wipe down. And give a little spritz of water. Just to see if it's nice and clear, which it is. Run it through again. Now then. Yeah, I think I should have went with the magenta first in there. Let's use a little fresh blood. This has got quite a bit of magenta. You know what? Maybe plasma fluid? Or where is my magenta? Let's grab magenta. Time out. Okay, grab the magenta. Probably went a little too heavy on the blue there, but that's oops, jeez. Yeah, magenta. Okay, and we are going to be really subtle with this. Sorry if I'm not top. Oh, jeez. Might have laid a little too much down. It's not enough difference in there. I'm wondering if I could hit it with something else. Something else. Brown. Or you could try plasma fluid. Maybe plasma fluid. A little more blue in there. I just don't want this color kind of getting away on me, you know? Try some plasma fluid. Yeah, because it needs just a little bit more difference in there. A little bit more. Little bit more. Yeah, we're gonna hit this with some plasma fluid, I think. Oh yeah, boy, this magenta is just being a pain to get rid of. Wonder why. Oh, it looks all right now. Let's try some plasma fluid. The plasma fluid sitting right here. Give it a good old shake. Maybe another metallic, not quite silver, but more like copper, or you know, something that looks more like. Jeez Louise. Yeah, once you've got some sort of like little leak going on, this stuff is everywhere. Ooh, I almost spilled my cup everywhere. Let's try a little bit of plasma fluid here. See if we can't bring this color back down a bit. Get a bit more. You know what? That actually looks kind of cool, as is. Kind of the color playing around. I don't know, what do you guys think? Probably needs a little bit more here, eh? I know you guys can't answer me right away, but doesn't mean you can't play along. Yeah. So I'm just not getting that sense that it's overheated. And I'm thinking I need another color in there, some sort of blue, and now this plasma fluid is more like a teal color. It's a really nice color. It's a fun color to play with, this plasma fluid. If anybody out there, you know, is looking to pick up some Minotaur colors, you definitely can't go wrong with these ghost tints. They're just too much fun. Just because they're really good translucent color. They're just a lot of fun. Almost too much fun, really. For a second, I thought I saw magenta in there for a second. I was like, how the heck did that happen? Alrighty. Yeah, I'm going to hunt for a different metallic. I think I'm going to go with a copper or bronze if I have one. But time out again. Okay, so I grabbed brass monkey and copper coin. And I'm thinking brass monkey ought to do it. Give me those colors. I might have to come back in with the magenta and the blue again, but that is okay, because we are still kind of learning this, right? Don't need that much. And let's try and be subtle if we can. See how well this stuff flows. Not too bad. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come over it again because I'm kind of covering up what I had done. That's okay. I'm kind of digging it. Ooh, a little too much. Just trying to get a bit of a fade going on here. Some of this color down. Yeah, I'm digging that transition right there. I'm digging it. Now, yeah, I'm just laying the brass right down all over everything again. It's just gonna be caked in paint. Huh, look at that. I think that's a magenta creeping back in. Somebody's got to pull the needle. That's what I got to do. Paint being kind of tenacious. Being a little tenacious. I wonder about this stuff. Let's quickly clean this crap out of there. So this time we're going to come back in with the magenta again. And of course, for everybody out there who's still watching me at this point and muck about with this, yeah, you should always have your respirator on. Oh, you know what I should have done? Oh, I forgot about that. Here's a little tip for everybody. When you're playing around with ghost tints, you can kind of see some of the magenta starting to spill through. Ghost tints, you have to seal them before you move on to anything else. Like if you're gonna like build up the ghost tints, you have to seal them before you move on with some colors, because paint sits on top of them again and they like to kind of mix with those colors again. Let's go right for that banding right there. It's probably a little too much magenta, but who cares? Oh, that's way too much magenta. Okay, now we're going to come back in with... Oh, I kind of want to use the... plasma fluid this time. Just because we're working from a really light base there. Ooh, geez, I almost spilled water over there. Getting tired, I think. Getting tired. This magenta. Yeah, I think this magenta is fairly tenacious. Usually you can get this cleared in a few little dabbles of water, but it doesn't want to come out. It wants to hang out some more. It's kind of like a party. And everybody's invited. Oh. Oops, jeez. Knocking stuff over now. Yeah, I must be getting tired. Must be getting tired because I'm also talking to myself. I'm the only one in here. Alrighty. Yeah, we're going to use plasma fluid. Just because it's such a nice, subtle little blue color. And, yeah. Good. Yeah, we're gonna use plasma fluid. Yeah, if you're only gonna buy one, this is the one to buy. Plasma fluid. If you only go see one movie this year, go see Plasma Fluid. I don't know where that came from, but alrighty. So now we're gonna try and put this right about by where the gemstone is. Yeah, see, I'm liking that a lot better now. Now it's starting to look a little bit more heat treated now. And I think we can move on to a bit of black. Oui, oui, no, no. Man, I'm wasting paint today. And water, apparently. See, the plasma fluid knows when to leave. Oh, no it doesn't. Looks like a toilet bowl. You know when you go in the airplanes? There's a little toilet bowl on there. or the porta potties. Wipe-a-voo this out. Hit it with some Windex. Now see, that's the thing, like when you're airbrushing, constantly with the cleaning and flushing and the flushing and the cleaning. If I'd have just done this with just by hand, I'd probably be done. I'll be at home eating dinner, reading a book, browsing eBay. I don't know, you know. Most likely browsing eBay. Kind of addicted to eBay. Not addicted. Well, okay, we'll call it addiction. First road to help, right, is admitting you have a problem. All right. So let's zoom in for everybody. Right? Let's zoom in. Let you guys get a sense of what the heck. Actually, let me turn the focus on and focus. Focus. There we go. So let's grab black. Raven Black. That's what we're using this time. Raven Black. Actually, that sounds like a movie star, doesn't it? Raven Black. Starring Raven Black. Don't ask me where I'm going with any of this, kids, because I don't have a clue. Alright. Now let's hit this with some black. Just slowly build it up. Subtly. Subtle. Because you know me, I'm Mr. Subtle. And I would hit it with gray, but you know what? I think I'm probably better off dry brushing that. And there's just a little too much blue right there. Yeah. And that's it. That's heat treated, kids. I think that's done. Actually, that's, since we have the black out. That's right, I'm gonna hit areas I probably shouldn't be hitting, but screw it. Screw it. Cause see, like this stuff here, kids, I got all that overspray. Now, some of you might be going, well, is the Patriot 105 a good purchase for me? You can see I knocked off the aerial while I was playing around today too. Like, can it do what I need it to do? And I've been playing around with this Patriot 105 for a while, and I think it can. Like, if you need to get some really basic kind of airbrush painting down, I don't think you can go wrong with the Patriot. And like, just not to sound like a commercial or anything, but it does pretty much whatever I need it to do. It's accurate enough that I'm confident that I can get into some of these areas. Like, see how there's all this in here? I'm pretty confident I can get into some of these areas. Am I running out? Oh, I'm bubbly. Hold on. Nope. There we go. Just like that, you know, cover most of the area, get it mostly done, you know. It's precise enough to get right in where you need it to go. Like, I honestly think this is one of the better workhorse kind of brushes that a person can get. So, I think that's it, because all I need to do is seal this, and I think I'm going to dry brush that tip. Just with a little bit of gray, just to bring that edge out. I'm not going to try and do it with the airbrush because, well, I'll probably mess it up, you know. But I think that's done. I'm just gonna flush this out. We are gonna varnish this thing. What do you think, a gloss or a satin or matte? Probably a matte, right? Yeah, probably better off with a matte. Plus the gloss. For whatever reason, the gloss varnish in Miniature seems to take forever to dry. It takes like an hour. And I'm not sure why. It just seems to take a really long time to dry. Especially when you're airbrushing and you don't really want things to take a long time to dry. And it does. And I'm not sure why. Windex in my airbrush. Who knows if the fumes are getting everywhere. If I start to go cross-eyed, then I know I'm done. Probably done already, but who knows? Who knows? Who can say for sure, eh, kids? Heck, I say kids. Probably only adults who watch me. Which I'm fine with, of course. Another piece of tissue. Alright. Yeah, let's mask this. Or mask, geez Louise. Let's matte varnish this guy. That's what I meant to say. Where is my matte varnish? This would be the gloss coat. This would be my satin coat. Satin coat. This would be my flat coat. Always make sure you give your flat coat a good shake. You can see after if it's been sitting for a bit. You can see how it just kind of spills around. You can kind of see it moving in there. I don't know if you can, but anyway. Let's give this a good shake up. Give it a good shake. You can see a little orc boy on my desk. Magnus. Still have my avatar sitting over there. Trying to get him done. I think I'm just going to take the airbrush to him, and that actually might be even my next airbrush noob. I don't know. I've also been working on my Ashland battle group for War Machine. So I got this one Vanguard done, and currently got a second one. Well, the green stuff is curing right now, but he'll be ready to spray. And in fact, maybe I'll do another airbrush noob tomorrow if I spray him, because it's really straightforward. I just lay the primer down and then spray the purple on, and then I do the rest of it by hand. But now, could we still consider this airbrush noob if I am painting stuff by hand? Could we still consider this airbrush noob? I don't know. Something tells me no. All right, flat coat. Let's go flat coat. Now, really, it's important because see here, it's like just the black, right? But the metallics and those Miniature ghost tints, we got to seal that, because if we hit it with another color or anything like that, that's just gonna like bleed right through, and so it's kind of a pain. All right, time for some flat coat. Kind of touching there. Don't touch. No touchy. No touchy. Move them around. Oh, man, be good. That's probably enough, but let's make sure. Because anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Ooh, it's starting to get into the air. Somebody should have his respirator on, but he doesn't. Because he's too manly. Too manly. Too manly. But that's it. That is the flat coat. And here, let's go with one more close up, just so you can kind of see what's going on there. not too close. So you can see. Heat treated. I'm not going to take the mask off yet because I'm not sure why. Can't remember why. But anyway, I think that's it. I think I'm done. And so Mad Cow Crazy, I think you're the one who suggested this. Let me know what you think. And of course, everybody else can let me know if it was a huge mistake, because I can always repaint it. I can always repaint it. I'm kind of partial to, you know, the solid black barrel. I mean, like, I kind of dig it. You know, looks kind of cool. I'm not in love with it, but, you know, I'm more partial to my Eldar being kind of clean cut, but, you know, there's always room for jello, as it were. But, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If not, well then, too bad. And yeah, and see, I didn't mess anything up. Well, other than getting the initial colors laid out right. But yeah, maybe a little bit more blue could have been in there, I guess. I don't know. But that is it. And the sound of my compressor is annoying me, so I think I'm gonna stop this in a moment. Maybe. Or you can just watch me continue to clean my airbrush. Because that's really exciting stuff. Yeah, I think we're done. Alrighty, guys. So let me know what you guys think. Keep it, toss it. Who knows? I don't know. But I will see you guys in the next exciting episode of the Airbrush Noob. Should have like a heavy metal theme or something.